Hello everyone, how's it going? My name is Elias. So in this video, I will be giving you guys one of the most highly requested tours that you all have been asking and waiting for. And no, this isn't the bookshelf tour, not yet. We'll get there someday. Today, I will be giving you guys my full tattoo tour because you all have been asking for one and I'm finally getting around to it just because I feel like I have a decent amount of tattoos to give you guys a tour. So I'm just gonna give you guys like a brief generalization of where I got the tattoos, pain tolerance, the cost, as well as any deep sentimental reason behind my tattoos. But before we get further into the video, I would like to thank today's video sponsor. Cue the clip. I would like to thank today's video sponsor, MD Hair. A little backstory. When I dyed and bleached my hair pink, I bleached my head a total of 4 times. That was very painful. Fast forward, I was in Vietnam and I bleached my head again to this color right here. At this point, I've bleached my head around like 5 to 6 times and my head was completely dry. Scalp gone, hair dead. Everything on my head was just really painful, really itchy. So a couple days later, after getting home from Vietnam, I was just checking my emails, just itching my head away. I got an email from MD Hair asking if they wanted to collaborate with me, and I was like, say less. So MD Hair is essentially the world's first medical grade hair growth treatment customized to your exact cause and your type of hair loss. What's also really cool about them is that they have a 24/7 medical chat where you can chat one-on-one with dermatologists about any questions you may have about the product or your dry scalp. As so, each kit is customized to each user depending on their needs, and all of the ingredients are 100% natural. So MD Hair sent me a full kit containing 5 items, and this is all attained after you take their online assessment, which is super easy. So once you go into their website, you essentially answer just a bunch of questions pertaining to what you need and how you're feeling with your hair and your scalp and what sort of treatment works best for you. So in my kit, I got shampoo and conditioner. Both are sulfate and paraben free, which means it's color safe. I also got some supplements as well as marine collagen, which also contains vitamin C and hyaluronic acid, which is really good for your hair, skin, nails, and joint supports. I usually take this before lunch, but after breakfast. And last but not least, we have the Holy Grail, my favorite of the entire kit, the customized serum. This little guy right here, my whole scalp has never felt better. It's pretty much healed at this point. There isn't a whole lot of dead, flaky skin going on anymore. You know, the whole dandruff situation ongoing there that I had. If you guys are interested, I have a code where you can get 70% off your first monthly kits using my code ellias70. Everything will be linked down below, and thank you once again to MD Hair for sponsoring today's video. With that being said, let us go ahead and get straight into the tour. So growing up as a kid, I always wanted to get some form of tattoo, but I never really knew which style that I wanted or liked even. However, there's just something really liberating once you find that piece that you really like, that design, that color choice, the scheme, the design and whatnot. Literally, when I tell you when you get that first tattoo, all bets are off. It is very, very addicting once you get over that initial fear of getting your first tattoo. So I'm not gonna go in the order of what tattoo I got first, but rather which tattoos are on each arm. So we're gonna start off with the left one first. Back in 2018, I believe, I was attending my 3rd annual Book Expo America / BookCon event in New York. So before the event, some friends of mine, other booktubers, made a plan to get tattoos together, albeit each of us getting our own different tattoos. I was pretty nervous just going in because I didn't really know what to expect. And the first tattoo that I got was based off of my favorite book series of all time, The Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. And I got the 3 interconnecting ley lines that you see like on the cover. So it was pretty simple, pretty basic, and the pain, from what I can remember, was pretty non-existent. The whole process, I think, was like 30 minutes and less. And after that, they like wrapped like a second skin on it, which I swear by. Second skin, in my opinion, is unmatched. So my first tattoo was something bookish. And to this day, do I have any regrets? No, not at all, because the series today still remains one of my favorite books of all time. But most of the pieces now that I get are mostly flash art. So moving on, we have my Aquarius tattoo. Now this one was super spontaneous. They were doing like a tattoo flash sale in my hometown in San Jose. My friend and I, my bestie Joy, aka my roommate, we went and got tattoos together, and we actually even got another matching tattoo that same day at the same venue. I got a little crescent black moon that is filled in, and she also got hers, but it wasn't filled in. Yeah, I got 2 tattoos that day, and I think they were both like under $100 or something. If I had to pick out a tattoo that I don't necessarily regret, but I wouldn't mind it being like covered up or anything, it would probably be the Aquarius tattoo, just because I got it on a whim. I actually don't really care too much for it, but because it's fine line. I did have to get it touched up like a couple times, and you can definitely tell quantity versus quality when it came to these tattoos. So The next tattoo would be the 3 sunflowers and the hearts. This is another bookish tattoo. This is the tattoo that I got after I finished reading A Little Life. You know, I was completely destroyed, depressed, and I needed a remedy, a cure for this massive feeling that I had for this book that wouldn't go away. So this is 2 years after I got my first tattoo. This was before the pandemic. I found this Korean artist in San Francisco. He was just visiting, you know, a guest, up and coming. I asked him to incorporate, you know, these 3 sunflowers, you know, with a heart. Flowers represents Malcolm, Willem, JB, and the hearts, of course, represents Jude. One of the inspirations from there. The next tattoo on this arm, one of my favorites, and perhaps the most complimented of all of my tattoos so far, is the King of Dreams, or how I dubbed it. This was also the same artist from the sunflower and heart tattoo as well. And this tattoo, fun fact, was my first flash piece. So it's actually a lot cheaper to get an artist flash art, like they're designed to be tattooed, instead of like, say, a custom design. But this one by far had one of the most shadings I've ever had in any of my tattoos. I think the pain level, I would say like a 6. The pain wasn't too bad. It was tolerable. I think he finished this in like 5.5 hours, but it was very uncomfortable just because there was so much damn shading. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier or if you noticed so far, but I really like that surrealist blackwork kind of tattoo. Next up is this half of a butterfly, and I actually got this as a matching set on my right arm as well. And this one was from a Russian artist in Livermore. But most of the artists that I find, honestly, are through Instagram. I didn't even search for it. It just came at the right time because the artist uploaded a story that was sort of like an ad where they were like, hey, I'm gonna be in this town or this place for a month and I have tattoos on for a sale or whatnot. So, but yeah, this was actually kind of painful just because it's sort of close to the elbow area, and this one bled so much afterwards as well. But overall process was like 2 hours. So yeah, I know butterflies are overall overrated and just really simple and basic right now, but you get what you want, you get what you love. So the next tattoo is my most recent, and this is on the back of my arm that I got in Vietnam, in Hanoi. This one was really cool, really special because the initial design from the artist's Instagram page, I sort of tweaked it, conversing with the artist, into sort of like my style of what I wanted in a tattoo, and it just worked out perfectly. But overall pain tolerance wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Last but not least is this eye that I got in Thailand with a red tear coming out. This is also a matching set with another eye on my right hand as well. I got these in Chiang Mai in Thailand, and it was just a really cool experience. Like, I have the memory lodged in my brain forever. You know, my thing now is that I want to get a tattoo in every country that I visit, or try to at least. All right, so moving on to the right arm, we're just going to talk about this bad boy right here. This one I also got in Thailand, but in Bangkok. This tattoo right here is probably one of the most special, just because I got this around 9 p.m., a couple hours later than intended, just because I think we were both held up by like other different plans. But this was like my first late night session tattoo. I think this went on to like 1 a.m. in the morning. Like, this is also a flash from the artist that I asked to embellish just a little bit. This went on until like 1 a.m. It was raining really hard as well. There was music going on. It was just me and the artist like on the 3rd level of his studio, and it was just really chill and it was good vibes. So I really loved it. And it was literally my last night in Bangkok, the night before I had to go back to the US. This one kind of hurt. There are all these little intricate shadings and everything, but this turned out really great and I was really happy with it. So the next I got is also my forearm, but this was like a flash and a custom at the same time. This one was also from the same artist who did my hand tattoos. Yeah, I got like 4 tattoos in Thailand, which is kind of a lot. I wanted something to do with like childhood nostalgia. And when I'm talking about childhood nostalgia, it has to do more with a certain book called Pure Nessie, one of my favorite books of all time. Top 3, if you will. And so she came up with her signature design, which is the red that you see. I've never gone red before, and I was really nervous, especially with on my hand as well. I've never had any other color except for black before. The red was really interesting, something new for me, but I wanted to try it out and it worked out perfectly. And the red tear on the left hand was supposed to be black as well, but I wanted to like contrast with the red on the right arm. So, but yeah, all 4 of these really great memories in Thailand. So last but not least, I got in a set in one sitting, also from the same artist who did my sunflower and the King of Dreams, is the bee, key, and sword tattoo that I also got from another favorite book of mine. This was still back in 2020 before the pandemic. This was because I finished reading The Starless Sea. If you know me, literally, that book is so beautiful. The ongoing motif and the themes surrounding the bee, the key, and the sword, I just had to have it. What I really like about these 3 pieces is that you can't even tell they're a set unless I tell you, just because they're on different places of my arm. So the bee, key, and the sword, I want to call them the Holy Trinity, was the second time I ever got tattooed after the ley lines in New York. Again, this is also from the same artist who did the King of Dreams and the Sunflower tattoo. So yeah, I just realized, literally in 2020, even though it was a shitty pandemic year, I think I got like 8 tattoos that year alone in the pandemic. I was like, mental health, gotta compensate for something. So tattoos it was. And I also want to point out, there's like no theme going on here, right? I tried getting pieces in size that would sort of like balance each other out, if you will. I guess the most expensive tattoo that I got would be the King of Dreams. He was hefty. He was a big one. He was like 1,200, I think. The tattoos in Thailand overall, I think, was around 700 for all 4. The one in Vietnam was around 350. My first tattoo, I think, was 180. I think I remember it just because it was like my first tattoo. Constellation and Moon, I think I remember it being under $100 for both of them. I really wish where in the comments you could respond and like post a picture of your tattoos. I would have loved to see that. Please let me know down in the comments below how many tattoos you have and what you've gotten, any significance, any meaning. As you can see, half of my tattoos don't really have meanings to them, which is all fine and dandy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon.